patio.
Good morning.
Morning. Want the dinghy down? Good. Good morning, and time for Maddy's second dive lesson. So Mario's just here to pick her up, take her out for the morning, and do a couple of dives. So she's been looking forward to that. And of course, Sebastian and I, well, we're going to be here working. What can I say? We got to get this boat ready for travel, and we're making huge progress. So lots of projects on the list today.
Bye.
Ciao.
Suba il dinghy.
Careful. Success. All right, enjoy. Ciao, man. Have a good dive.
You see what you wanna see, and I'll look at what's right in front of me. I see all the beauty that surrounds my head held high and my feet on the ground. I just wanna stay up all night until I see the sun. Sit back, enjoy the ride. We only have this one life. We're all a little damaged, but that's not who we are.
First on today's list, back to the battery project. And we're just tidying up some of the wires that we'd put in temporarily just until we figured out how things were working, and just doing an alignment on the battery so we can start securing them down, because so far everything is perfect. You can't believe how pleased I am with how well the system's been working so far. We've had 1 week to test it already, and every day has been perfect. We've had sunny weather, so we've had a chance to top up the batteries every single day and see exactly what's, how everything's going to perform and what it's going to do on an ongoing basis. So all I can say is very happy, and we're going to go through some of these changes that we're making here in a few minutes. I just got Sebastian, like I said, just rerouting a couple of wires, cleaning them all up. We're going to get them organized and labeled and put in properly now, and we're just about ready to close up on this. We started working on the engine because, like I said, we have to put in a start battery that's independent over there, and it needs to be charged and regulated as well. So we've got all that hooked up, but we'll get to that in a few minutes.
Yep.
So right now we'll let Sebastian finish this, and then I'll walk you through what we got.
bigger or fine?
Something about that thickness, but a little bit longer. We have.
Okay, yes, we have here.
So, got the batteries kind of framed in and secured now. Next is to ventilate the cabinet. Now this is a ventilated cabinet. As you can see here, these ridges are cut out so that heat escapes underneath the seats. But this is why we wanted to move some of the equipment out of this cabinet that generates a lot of heat, because the heat accumulates in the top here and basically goes through the cushion right into your seat where you're sitting in the salon, and it gets hot. And of course it just rolls out here right in front where your legs are. So I wanted to reverse the airflow. So what Sebastian's doing here now is we're just putting a hole right here, and that is going to be for this little electric fan that we're going to hook up to the batteries, and it'll run on the 12 volt side, but ultimately I'm going to hook it up to a little temperature gauge, like a thermostat, and it will just come on whenever the temperature in here rises above, say, 35 degrees centigrade or something, and it'll blow a nice stream of air out that direction, drawing it in from here. So it'll actually draw cool air in from here, vent it out there, and from there it just goes straight out the back, and the airflow from the salon will just take it straight out the companionway. So it'll be a big improvement from anything we got now. So Sebastian is just finishing up with that. But what I will tell you is that the main objective for switching to 24 volts from 12 volts was to decrease the amperage through the charging into the batteries. So the loads that we have here were tremendous at 12 volts and creating a lot of heat through a lot of amperage in the wiring. These two devices here that are running the solar panels, we got the 70 amp regulator and the 100 amp regulator, they've been running bank 1 and bank 2 of the solar panels, and after several hours of full sun, these things would get so hot you could literally fry an egg on them.
Literally.
Yeah. Sorry. But now, if we look at them, they've been running about 1,000 watts now for an hour or so, and 31 degrees centigrade, or what's that, maybe 95 degrees. It's not even as hot as a jacuzzi. 32.9, 32.8. The house bank is running at 32.9, wind generator running at 31.1. We have virtually zero heat in here. There is almost nothing. They're barely warm to the touch, and that is a significant difference than running at 12 volts with high amperage. So mission accomplished. So we probably never have a lot of heat in this cabinet anymore, because we've also moved the inverter out of here, so the charger's not in here also, because that was a major source of heat down here. But this will make sure that all of this stays nice and cool all the time. And same thing, you remember we got the inverter up in this locker here. We're going to put another one of these fans in the top of that to accomplish the same thing, bring the heat from the cabinet, because we have a cool air intake in that cabinet. Remember, the cabinet was designed to have the inverter in there at the factory. So it has a cool air intake, and it has places to disperse heat in the top of the cabinet just out here into the main cabin, but we're going to vent it out straight out through the front and out the front of the door here, and that will take all the heat again straight out the companionway instead of just into the cabin of the boat. So that'll be another big improvement, but that'll be another use for one of these fans. I stocked up on lots of these fans. They're great little fans. They move a ton of air. They draw almost no power at all. They're perfectly silent, and they're like $7, maybe $6 each. I buy them in pairs for I think $12 or $13, and they're perfect for the application. So we're almost finished there, and then we move on to next.
Yep.
Yeah, while Sebastian's finishing there, you'll also see I've got some temporary wiring running through here and the red wires and stuff, and this is just for some of the test gauges and things that we're using while we set things up, and then these will come out and get installed properly once we know where we're going to put everything. But you remember this panel here, everything here is about to change, so we're not going to run any wires permanently in here because all of this is coming out and we have new things going in. The GX color controller has now been replaced, so Battleborn Batteries has sent me the new Victron Serbo GX. That's this guy, which is going to be great because the problem with this one for me is that all of the wiring, and there's a lot of wiring, comes to the back of the unit and it's inside the cabinet. So short of putting a big plastic shroud around it or anything at the back, you have to be very careful because we use this cabinet a lot and the wiring of course gets bumped and sometimes it comes off. So that's an issue. But with the new one, the Serbo GX, it's going to get remounted in a remote location. So down in here probably somewhere, you know, it'll be with everything else. And all of the wiring runs from this to this beautiful new display right here that is the new Victron touch controller, and this is a full touch screen that's going to install where this is, but obviously you can see it's a different size, so we have an issue with mounting. But this is a single cable controller now. So it has one cable that goes to the Serbo GX in its remote location, and then all the wiring fans out from the Serbo GX for everything else on board from there. So that's going to be a really nice upgrade. Thank you again, Battleborn. I can't wait to try this guy out and see how well this works. But yeah, once we finish everything else up here, that'll be part of our next strategy, is just taking all of this out. I'm going to have to build a nice plexiglass, like a piece of acrylic framework around here. We'll cut the whole piece out so that all the gauges and everything can be mounted into the plexiglass, and then it will just sit there, one nice black frame right beside the mirror with everything on it. So that will be very beautiful. Looking forward to that. A little bit of, what is it, lithium?
Lithium grease.
Yeah, good. Cover up all the terminals.
Yes, for protect all connections.
Little piece of wire for our new fan.
No llevamos cámara. No se hace cámara.
Estamos siendo exhaustísimas.
Careful. Ciao, Mario!
¡Chao!
Perfect. Alright, I think we're good. So, yeah, you can see Sebastian's got our temperature sensor hooked up perfectly. So all our wiring is run into the temperature sensor, run into the fan. The fan is sitting there off right now. Our ambient temperature is at 90 degrees, as you can see. We got the little thermometer right here. So that's good. So we can set the temperature that we want. We've already got it set for cooling. You can set this thermometer for cooling or heating, so it turns on or turns off when it reaches your desired temperature. I'm going to set our desired temperature at, from 96, I'll take it up to 90, well, let's say 100. That's 10 degrees above ambient right now. And when it hits 100, it should just turn the fan on. Now obviously, yeah, even if I touch it, I'm not going to heat it up to get it hot enough, so let's give it a shot here of, yeah, don't try this at home, kids.
Yes, don't make explode everything, sir.
We are trained idiots. Ready? Just touch, touch. There we go.
Start to work.
Perfecto. 107 degrees, fan turns on. Good breeze. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my amp gauge. Okay, so that's, I got to zero that out. Okay, 0 amps.
Yep.
Starting at 0 amps. I just want to see how much this thing is going to draw when it's running. I don't think it's going to be a big concern by any stretch, but that's this white wire here. So 0.2. Hang on, settling out. Yeah, around 0.22, 0.23 it looks like on average. So very little current, less than 1/4 of an amp when it's running, and of course next to nothing when it's not running. Now I don't expect this thing to run probably maybe for 4 or 5 hours a day when we have very hot days, but of course on that time we're going to have tons of power because it's over, you know, it's getting hot if we're generating that much power. But that should do a great job. Now to give an idea, let's see. This is just a little portable anemometer. I'm going to set it for max and hold it over here. Just to get an idea how much breeze this thing is actually blowing. Because it's actually doing a really good job. 8.7 miles per hour.
Cool.
That's a lot of breeze.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
It's a good fluid.
Very good breeze. So that means there's going to be a good flow of air through here, good flow of air through there, all the way across all the equipment. So, perfecto. I think we are in good shape. So we still got some tidying up with the wires to do, but aside from that, I think it's time to close this up and grab some lunch.
Cool.
Oops. Well,
See, today is a bad day. All the elements I touch go down.
Maddie's a little flustered. She's back from diving now, obviously, and suffering from massive hunger, so we just finished our lunch. Thank
Yeah,
you.
a lot of hungry.
But obviously, yeah, she very much enjoyed her dive, as you could see. I'm surprised. She seems very comfortable underwater, so that's good. Thank you very much to Mr. Mario.
And for your patience, Mario, because I know sometimes I very hard at.
But I think we're going to call it a day on the projects because, yeah, we've put in enough hours. So I'm going to take a break. Time to go do something else now. And we'll come back at you next time with next projects. And yeah, as much as I'd love to say things went incredibly smooth with all of our projects, well, let's just say we did have a little fire last week and we did have a flood last week. We went on a shakedown cruise, right? Well, we shook things out, and sure enough, we found out we were sinking, and we didn't realize it until after the fact. But yeah. We'll save that for next videos and talk about it later when we're a little more calm about it.
Yeah, better.
But anyway, you guys have a good day. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next episode.
Thank you for following us.
Ciao for now. and then it will just sit there, one nice black frame right beside the mirror with everything on it. So that would be very beautiful. Looking forward to that. That will be very beautiful. Looking forward to that. So that would be very beautiful. So that would be very beautiful. Get stuck on one word sometimes, eh?
It's normal.
So that would be very beautiful. Very much looking forward to that.